Thank you for joining us at Aloha Active for another one of our mobility flows, followed by a full body workout circuit. You can go for 2 to 5 rounds of each, no breaks between, with the 60-second rest in between your circuits and your flow mobility. Starting with our mobility flow, we're coming into a standing position, gently rolling one vertebra at a time, eventually extending your spine out, reaching the crown of your head, and then starting to walk your hands out into your plank position. We're going to open up into a side plank. If you need to, taking a side plank variation of stepping that top leg across, taking it over onto the other side. Remember that bottom hand is really active, pushing the ground away so we're not sinking into the shoulder blade. Then we are going to open up into an upward facing dog. Nice deep breath in. Tucking your chin towards your chest as we exhale to push back downward facing dog. Going into your 3-legged dog, keeping your hips square. And then taking a bend into that knee as we open up the hip, trying to draw your heel over towards your opposite sitting bone. Squaring your hips off again to then step that foot between both hands. We're then going to walk ourselves over to the long side face of the mat, lifting halfway. And then exhale for the first variation. I'm going to take hold of my ankles. You can take hold of your calves. Trying to draw the crown of your head to the ground. Don't worry if it doesn't touch. Just keep trying to draw shoulders away from ears so you've got a nice space between shoulders and neckline. Reaching up halfway lift. Take a nice deep breath in, and then we're going to sink to the side into our skandasana. Side lunge. Using the back of your arm to open up that inner thigh. Walking your hands over to the other side of your mat. We're then going to kick back into our 3-legged dog again. Nice deep breath in. And then taking a bend into that knee when you're ready to open up the hip. You can follow your gaze to your opposite shoulder. Then squaring those hips again as we draw that knee to chest. Then step that foot between both hands, taking your low lunge, or what we call a skandasana, on the other side. Again, using the back of your arm to open up that inner thigh. Walking over to the front side of your mat, then step back into your plank position. And then slowly lowering those hips down, lifting up as we open up our chest. Nice deep breath in, upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your chin towards your chest, push back, downward dog. When you're ready, we can walk our hands back to meet our feet, eventually walking hands up onto your shins to lift up halfway, lift, breathe in. And exhale, fold. Keeping your chin tucked in as we roll up one vertebra at a time. I'm going to show you 3 different variations. So going into the second variation, just remember that you can go for 5 full rounds to warm up your body. So again, we're just going to forward fold, reaching up halfway to make a tabletop with your back. And then continue to walk your hands out into that plank position. Lifting up into your side plank, reach your arm as far back as you can to get a nice opening into the chest. And then gently placing that hand back down again, press the ground away as we reach up to side plank the other side. And then grounding that hand back down to the floor to gently roll the hips down, lifting up, open up the chest, knees are off the floor or the mat. And then tucking your chin to your chest, exhale, push back downward facing dog. Taking that 3-legged dog again. So reaching that leg nice and high, hips are square. Starting to peel open that hip as we draw your heel over towards your opposite sitting bone. Feeling the gentle opening into the hip. And then extend that leg long again, squaring your hips, and then drawing that knee in towards your chest, stepping that foot through between both hands. Facing the long side of your mat again. This time I'm going to walk my hands through my legs, reaching my fingertips as far back as I can to try and get my crown of my head again touching the floor. Hands are active, shoulders drawing down my waist, keeping that distance between shoulders and ears. Slowly walking yourself back up, halfway lift, nice deep breath in, and then slowly sinking into your one side. Try and flex that foot. This time, framing your inner thigh, your calf, and then extending the top arm up, gaze up towards top arm. Feeling a nice deep stretch into the shoulders, and then sliding yourself over to the back side of the mat, kicking back into your three-legged dog. Nice deep breath in, and as we exhale, you can start to open up the hip, drawing your heel towards that opposite sitting bone, and again your gaze is facing towards your bent knee, shoulder. Square your hips, three-legged dog, and then stepping that foot between both hands and slowly rotating to sink into your skandasana, framing your shin as we open up, feeling that nice deep stretch into the shoulder, the chest, and then walking to the front side of your mat again, stepping back into your plank position, and as we breathe in, opening up the chest, lifting up into an upward facing dog, thighs are active. Exhale, push the ground away as we tuck our chin in towards our chest, downward dog. And then we are going to walk our hands back to meet our feet. Taking your time, mindfully walking your hands, eventually bringing them up towards your shins, halfway lift, nice deep breath in, and exhale to gently fold all the way down. Keeping your chin tucked in, rolling up with your breath, one vertebra at a time, with the crown of your head to come up last. Taking the last variation of the mobility flow, remember you can always stick to the first one if that was enough for you. So again, tucking your chin to your chest, suck your belly back as we roll down one vertebra at a time. Eventually walking your hands out in front of you to lift halfway, nice deep breath in. And then continue to walk your hands out into a plank. Remember, you can always have that soft bend into your knees if your hamstrings are tight. Lifting up, side plank, extend and reach back. Bottom hand is active, pushing the ground away. Reaching over to the other side. And then slowly drawing that hand back to meet the mat. Gently lifting up into that upward facing dog, shoulders draw back. Tucking your chin towards your chest, rolling over your feet as we push back into our downward facing dog. Readjusting your dog, and then when you're ready, we can reach one leg up, nice deep breath in. Taking a bend into your knee as we open up the hip, trying to draw that heel a little bit closer towards that sitting bone. And then reaching back up into our three-legged dog. Square your hips. And then drawing that knee in towards your chest, step it through both hands. Again, facing the long side of your mat. This time I'm going to take it into an inversion. So I'm going to do my tripod headstand. Again, optional. If you're not ready for it, then rather stick to the other modifications. But gently lifting those feet off the floor as we draw our heels to touch. Again, I've got that space between shoulders and ears. Hands are pressing into the mat. And then gently lowering your feet with control. Try and keep it as even as possible. Floating your legs back down. Allowing your feet to eventually touch the mat, and then lifting up, halfway lift, nice deep breath in. We're then going to sink back down into Skandasana, and this time I'm going to take it into a full bind. So I'm going to wrap that arm around, and then reaching your top hand up and over, bend in the elbow, try and see if you can clasp your hands behind your back, and then draw that opposite shoulder back. Slowly releasing the bind, we're then going to travel over to the back side of the mat. Again, pushing back into a three-legged dog, nice deep breath in. And then taking a bend into that knee, drawing your heel over towards your opposite hip. As we follow our gaze to our shoulder. Nice deep breath in as we stretch that leg back up, square your hips. And then stepping that foot between both hands. Taking your Skandasana on the other side. If you want, you can go for the bind. remember to keep drawing that top shoulder back, and you can follow your gaze to that top shoulder. Again, this is your own flow, your own practice. Listen to your body, do what you're only capable of doing. If you need to use a strap behind your back, you can. So walking to the front side of your mat again, we're going to step back into our plank, rolling over the toes to reach up into an upward facing dog. Hands press the mat away. And then when you're ready, exhale, tucking your chin to your chest, roll over your toes as we push back down at facing dog. In your own time, walking your hands back to meet your feet, traveling up your shins to lift halfway up into a tabletop, and slowly exhale to fold. Tucking your tailbone and keeping your chin tucked in towards your chest as we slowly roll up one vertebra at a time until you come all the way up to stand. Completing your 3 to 5 rounds of the mobility flow, we're going to go into our circuit. First exercise is our T push-ups, so we're going to rotate, stepping top leg across, reaching your arm up. You can use a kettlebell or dumbbell, and then taking it over to the other side. So step plank, step that top leg over, reach up. So this is the first modification of the exercise. Then going to step back into a plank, lowering your knees down, drawing your chest to the weight, and then lifting back up into your plank position. Okay, so this would be the easy variation of the exercise. That top leg helps you to hold your frame into that side plank. And remember, keeping your tailbone tucked in, tummy nice and tight, shoulders draw away from your ears as we go into that push-up, ladies push-up. Okay, so if you are finding that this is quite easy and you can take it a step further, then I'm going to demonstrate the second variation of the exercise that you can take. So this time we're going to go into a full side plank, still reaching the weight up, gently with control lowering it down, taking it over to the other side, reach up, press that bottom hand away, and then going into your ladies push-up again, trying to get your chest to touch the dumbbell. So remember that if a weight is too much for you today, then you can do this without a weight. If you do not have access to any dumbbells, then you can always create your own with an empty water bottle that you can fill up with sand, stones, water, and then maybe if you've got a scale, you can weigh it to see how much it weighs, just so that you can sort of keep track whether you need to then, if you follow this video at a later stage, make it a little bit harder. Yeah, so if you feel like you can take it a little bit further, then we're going to go into that full side plank variation, and this time we're going to then take a full push-up, so knees are off the floor. Again, with control, trying to draw that chest down towards the ground or to touch the dumbbell. You shouldn't be feeling any pain or discomfort into the lower back. So if you are, then rather take it back into your ladies push-up. It's always important to rather pay attention to form before we try and upscale it to the more difficult variation. Okay, so remember, it's 10 in total of these, if you can manage. Going at your own pace, your own time, syncing your breath with the movement, so trying to not hold your breath. And then we're going to get ready to go into our second exercise, which is our reverse crunches, or our ins and outs. But we're going to then take it across to either side of a weight or an object of your choice. So if I just think off the top of my head, you could use a yoga block, you could use a yoga wheel, anything with a bit of height that you can then cross that leg over. So the first example, I had my hands behind me. To take it a little bit one step further, we're going to interlock our hands in front of your chest. Just make sure that you're lifting out of your hips, your back is straight. Nice deep breath in as you stretch out, and exhale as you draw your knees to your chest. Third variation, if you want to make it a little bit harder, we're going to stretch our arms out, reaching arms overhead and bringing it back to center. Again, trying to draw that navel to spine, lifting out of those hips, and we're going for 10 on each side in total. Very good, well done. Going on to the third exercise of the circuit, we're going for a single leg deadlift into a curtsy lunge, or you can sit all the way down to the ground. In this video, I'm just demonstrating 5 on each side, but you're more than welcome to do 10 on each if you're feeling very strong. So as we go down into that single leg deadlift, try to keep your body as straight as possible. So we're reaching the crown of our head forward, back leg reaches back, draw that knee up towards your chest, and then sliding that leg horizontally as we lower ourselves all the way down. Drawing that knee back to your chest, foot is flexed, and then extending and reaching forward into that deadlift. I have used a kettlebell here, it's an 8 kg, but again, you're more than welcome to do this without a weight if it's the first time that you're exploring this exercise. Or if you don't have access to a kettlebell, you're more than welcome to use a dumbbell or anything else that's weighted that would give you a little bit of resistance to make it a little bit harder. Again, as we're reaching forward into that deadlift, try to keep your hips as square as possible. And then reaching back to sit down, pressing into the front foot to lift back up, foot is flexed, and then taking it over to the other side. Okay, so again, syncing your breath with the movement, breathing in as we reach forward. Exhale to draw that knee to your chest, foot is flexed. Sliding that leg across, gently lowering both sitting bones down and pressing into the grounded foot to reach back up. Taking your time, doing as many as you can manage. Remember that we've got at least 3 to 5 rounds to get through of this exercise. Working in a lot of different ranges of motion. Working our core. Trying to keep that chest upright as you lower down. Shoulders draw away from your ears, crown of your head reaches forward, and then drawing that knee in towards your chest. With this exercise, keeping it nice and slow and controlled is key, so do not rush it. And then for balance, always focusing your gaze just out in front of you to about a 45-degree angle on preferably a still object always helps. Alright, so we're nearly there, just completing our last few reps of our exercise, and then we're going to take it into the next exercise of the circuit, which is walking out into a plank position, and we're going to tap, reaching that hand out in front of you to tap an object. So again, I've used a kettlebell, but again, it doesn't have to be a kettlebell. The higher the object, the harder the exercise, but we're going to go for 30 seconds in total. Again, keeping your tailbone tucked in, trying to push the ground away with your hands so that you're not sinking into the shoulder blades. Well done. Very last exercise of the day, we're going to roll back into a plow position. If your feet don't touch overhead, don't worry, just do what you can. Rolling up, we're going to grab again what I'm using as a kettlebell to sink down into a squat, reaching arms overhead, and then going for your tricep extension. Keep your chest lifted as we lower down into our squat, and then rolling back into our plow position. Again, syncing your breath with the movement, trying to keep your chest lifted as we're going down into our squat. Tucking tailbone in, tummy is tight, and slowly lowering with control down back into our squat. As you roll up, you can use your hands to lift up into your squat position. We We are going for 10 of these in total. Trying to roll with control, reaching up, hugging your elbows in, and slowly lowering back into your squat. If you do have tight hips, then it is recommended that you hold a frog squat prior to doing this exercise for about a 10 breath count or 10 seconds. Basically just bringing your hands to the floor into a wide squat position, and then using the back of your arms to press those inner thighs apart, maybe interlocking your hands out in front of your chest. As we're going down into your squat, remember to keep your knees pushing out to the outside, pressing onto the outside corners of your foot so that you've got a nice natural arch. Slowly lowering yourself with control. Remember that the weight is optional, so if you are struggling with the mobility in your hips, then rather do it without, using your hands to push up into that squat position. I always find that the wider the stance, the easier it is to keep my heels to the ground. So as we draw close towards the end of this workout, just remember that we are doing 3 to 5 rounds of the circuit with a 60-second rest in between each round. It's important that you do a warm-up prior to doing this circuit, so preferably following that flow mobility routine, or just doing a warm-up of your own. And if you enjoyed this and you would like to do more of these workouts, then please subscribe to our channel so we can keep you posted, or follow us on social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram as @Aloha Active Studio. We look forward to having you join us again. Until then, mahalo.